Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel where we explore the unexplained, the mysterious, and the peculiar aspects of our world. Today we're going on a short journey through time to explore some of the history of UFO sightings from ancient times to the present. From the depictions of strange objects in ancient cultures, records from the Middle Ages, and to the more modern reports, we're going to be covering a bit of each with this new deep dive series on my attempt to create a complete catalog on everything that is related to extraterrestrials. So, thank you for joining me today, and let's jump right in. Since the beginning of time, strange sightings in the sky have often been documented. It's amazing to think how long back images of UFOs and aliens have been created, and yet a lot of people still do not even begin to entertain the idea of extraterrestrial life. The vast amount of images and cave paintings, a lot of these I had no clue even existed before I decided to start this YouTube channel. So let's start with some notable cultures and let's see how similar or not these images and descriptions are to how we view extraterrestrials today. In Australia, we find the Wanina petroglyphs. These are up to 5,000 years old. These works depict the Wanina, cloud and rain spirits of Australian Aboriginal mythology. Interestingly, the large white faces and big black eyes in these paintings bear a striking resemblance to modern descriptions of extraterrestrial beings. However, the mainstream anthropologists and archaeologists consider them religious or mythological symbols, and I can understand where they're coming from by saying that. At some point, it starts to become near impossible to prove the existence of what these beings were, whether visitors or just something religious left in ancient depictions. So I do understand the label archaeologists have put on these images, but the consistency of these images throughout the ages, as we will begin to see, that cannot go unnoticed. The Fesilyan National Park in the Sahara Desert hosts a rich collection of prehistoric cave art, ranging from 6,000 to 12,000 years old. Some figures here, depicted with helmet and suit-like features, have led some to interpret these as possible evidence of ancient astronauts. Yet mainstream scientists suggest these likely represented spiritual beings or shamanistic visions. Here we are again with the same labels. It becomes too difficult to understand what the hell these paintings were supposed to depict. But if I was one of the scientists who have studied these paintings, I would have said the same. I would be trying to be as empirically accurate as I could possibly be, for fear that my whole scientific finding regarding these paintings will be thrown out just off of one opinion on what these beings could possibly be. But the round heads, big black eyes, some of them are even shown having different color arms. In these same paintings, you can see how locals depicted regular people. And then you see this, the typical alien description that we are familiar with today. Mind you, these cave paintings range from 6,000 to 12,000 years ago. That's insane. In Egypt, the Cave of the Swimmers, popularized by the film The English Patient, contains Neolithic pictographs around 10,000 years old. Among them are peculiar objects that some propose could be early depictions of advanced technology or UFOs. This 9th century BC Assyrian panel is a fascinating artifact. It showcases the deity inside what looks like a fiery wheel or a circular object. It shows the objects in the sky covered in wings with a divine being inside of the object. This artifact is often referenced in discussions of ancient astronauts. However, mainstream historians and archaeologists interpret this depiction as a symbolic or mythological representation, not an actual historical event or evidence of ancient extraterrestrial contact. The fiery wheel is thought to be associated with divine power or transportation, like the biblical vision of the prophet Ezekiel. While many interpret this as symbolic or mythological, some speculate it could be an early depiction of extraterrestrial contact. Nonetheless, it's an early example of humans illustrating strange phenomena in the sky. The ancient Indian text. Ancient Indian texts such as the Mahabharata and the Vimana Shastra tell tales of Vimanas, vehicles capable of soaring through the skies and even journeying to other planets. The ancient Indian texts, including the Mahabharata and the Vimana Shastra, they describe aerial battles and advanced weaponry, even giving detailed descriptions of these vehicles' designs and mechanisms. The Vimanas are described in several ancient Indian texts, including the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, the Vimana Shastra. They're often portrayed as majestic, flying palaces or chariots, capable of incredible feats. The texts depict them as having the ability to move in any direction, hover, and even travel into space or underwater. Alright, that's already strike one for being consistent with how UFOs have been reported and shown to move and release UFO footage and testimonies by eyewitnesses as well as military personnel. The Vimana Shastra offers elaborate details on Vimanas, construction, and the operation. The text describes different types of Vimanas, some using mechanical propulsion systems, others operating through mystical or even psychic means. Propulsion mechanisms range from a combination of mercury vortex engines, where the mercury is heated, causing it to rotate, which creates a lifting force, to more esoteric forms of energy. However, attempts to replicate these mechanisms based on the description in the text have not been successful. Advanced weaponry. Ancient Indian texts also mention advanced weaponry, some of which sound strikingly like modern descriptions of beam or energy weapons. The Brahmastra, for example, described in the Mahabharata and other texts, is depicted as a single projectile weapon capable of destroying entire cities or even the world. It's often compared to a nuclear weapon due to the devastation it allegedly caused. Similarly, the text mentions the Narayanastra, a weapon that fires a rain of arrows on his enemies, and the Vaishnavastra, a powerful missile attributed to Lord Vishnu. Another notable weapon mentioned in the Agniyastra, which could emit a blazing fire capable of causing severe destruction, reminiscent of some incendiary device or flamethrower. The texts often depict these weapons as being used in grand celestial battles, causing vast devastation and upheaval. While these texts provide intricate details of Vimanas and advanced weaponry, it's important to note that these are mostly understood to be mythological or allegorical storicals by mainstream historians and scholars. The interpretations that consider these as evidence of advanced ancient technology or extraterrestrial encounters remain speculative and outside of mainstream academic consensus. Livy's writings. Over in ancient Rome, historian Livy reported phantom ships gleaming in the sky. These accounts from around 218 BC during the Second Punic War provide early records of unexplained aerial phenomena. The idea of ships could be interpreted based on observers' understanding of technology at the time, making this a fascinating glimpse into ancient interpretations of unidentified aerial phenomena. The Middle Ages were not without their share of mysteries. The 776 AD Annales Latecensis, a record of the Carolingian Empire, describes a flaming shield seen in the sky during a siege. This serves as a potent reminder that strange aerial sightings have been a part of human experience for centuries. Fast forwarding to the early modern period, we have an account from American colonialist John Winthrop in 1639. His diary records a secondhand observation of a large, strange light in the night sky. And when this light stood still, the witness apparently had time to get others to come in to see it too. This historical account is one of the earliest UFO reports in the English colonies. In the late 1800s, before humans had even mastered the art of flight, a wave of sightings swept across the United States. People reported seeing strange, unidentified airships. One notable incident occurred in 1897 in Aurora, Texas, where locals claimed a mysterious airship crashed, and the alien pilot was even buried in the local cemetery. These sightings, often attributed to mass hysteria or fabrication, nonetheless form an intriguing part of UFO history. The 20th century, an era ripe with technological advancements and world conflicts, was also rich with notable UFO incidents. During the dark days of World War II, pilots on both sides reported mysterious phenomena, Foo Fighters. These were unexplained lights or spherical objects that trailed or flanked their aircraft during missions, often displaying erratic behavior and high-speed maneuvers that baffled witnesses. Post-war, in 1947, an American pilot named Kenneth Arnold reported seeing 9 brightly lit, saucer-like objects flying at incredible speeds near Mount Rainier, Washington. His description of their flight as like a saucer if you skip it across water led to the popular term flying saucers. This event is often considered the start of the modern UFO era. Later that same year, the Roswell Incident unfurled. In the summer of 1947, something crashed on a ranch near Roswell, New Mexico. Initially, the US military stated they'd recover a flying disc, but they quickly recanted the story, insisting it was a crashed weather balloon. This swift change in narrative fueled widespread speculation and conspiracy theories that continue to this present day. And as we all know, with the recent releases of the US government, that this was probably a real ship and they lied about that. The intrigue escalated in 1952 when a series of sightings occurred in Washington, D.C. Radar operators and witnesses reported unidentified objects moving at high speeds over the Capitol. These sightings were so alarming that they triggered a swift response from the US Air Force, who attributed the phenomenon to temperature inversions causing radar blips. In 1973, a unique case grabbed headlines with Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker from Pascagoula, Mississippi, claimed to be abducted by aliens while fishing. The two men described strange creatures with claw-like hands who temporarily paralyzed them and floated them into a UFO. They reported their experience to the local sheriff, passed a lie detector test, and this story attracted global attention. Then, in 1980, a major UFO event occurred in Rendlesham Forest, near two Royal Air Force bases in the United Kingdom. Over a series of nights, multiple US Air Force personnel reported seeing strange lights and objects in the forest. They described interactions with triangular-shaped craft, and one of the officers even claimed to touch hieroglyphic-like markings on it. Known as Britain's Roswell, this remains one of the most famous UFO incidents in the United Kingdom. The 21st century has seen a continuation of these unexplained aerial phenomena. In November 2004, off the coast of California, United States Navy pilots from the USS Nimitz encountered a mysterious tic-tac shaped object. It exhibited extraordinary acceleration and maneuverability, outpacing the advanced FA-18 fighter jets. This incident gained substantial credibility when the Department of Defense declassified the gun camera footage in 2020. Fast forward to 2006, a group of employees and pilots at O'Hare International Airport in Chicago reported a metallic, saucer-shaped object hovering over the airport. The object was stationary in the sky for several minutes before shooting upwards at a high speed. Despite photographic evidence and multiple witnesses, the FAA did not investigate, attributing the sighting to weather phenomena. Most recently, in 2020, the US Pentagon acknowledged the existence of Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. They released 3 videos of encounters between US Navy pilots and unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs, effectively legitimizing the study of these incidents within the military and scientific community. And even recently, on June 7th, 2023, there was body cam footage from police officers responding to a call that a UFO crashed in their backyard, and there was body cam footage seeing something fall out of the sky. So even up until today, it's still going on. These instances, separated by time and geography, weave a fascinating narrative of humanity's ongoing encounters with the unexplained. Remember, we don't have definitive answers for these events, but it's intriguing to ponder these mysteries and speculate about what they could mean. That's all we have time for today, but I will be diving into more of these events in future episodes. Remember, keep looking up and keep asking questions. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, everyone, be safe.